The one thing I have not found success with, and this is suggested in a lot of books, is this idea that as you're having kids develop character, have them fill out sort of these page-long questionnaires, interviews, like a character interview, where you go through and you say, what's your character's favorite color, what's your character's favorite food, where does your character live, where do they like to vacation, even getting into, are they married, are they single, divorced, if you're older kids. And what I found with younger kids is that it almost tends to distract them just ever so bit. What they start doing is putting in all these details about the character that don't necessarily push the character forward or develop it like you want it. So I've moved away from that at the elementary. I find that when I work with my middle school and high school kids, they can actually do that. They can take that and sort of assimilate all that information, synthesize it, and really begin to focus in on what's relevant about character. But my little kids, I noticed, can't really do that a whole lot. So I've moved away from that. But what I've started to use, and this again, I would probably use more with middle school, maybe 4th grade and higher. I got this from the, what's the storybook? It's called WAGS. It's very, have you done this yet? Did you do this yet? Okay, so WAGS is just the mnemonic for remembering it, the heuristic. So world of the character. Where does the character spend a lot of time? How does that world affect the character? And how does that character affect that world? It's a little bit more honed in and specific than a 4-page questionnaire type of approach. Action of the character. What does the character do during a regular day? What's routine about the character? What does the character do in pursuit of the goal shown in the story? So this is where you begin to develop the plot line as it relates to that character. Goal of the character. What does the character want? What does the character need? This is often different from the character's goal. And then the stakes. What bad thing does the character think is going to happen if the goal isn't reached? You'll get this, just so you know. The PowerPoint will get uploaded into your Dropbox. What makes the goal worth pursuing and grappling with the obstacles and confrontations that are put in the way of attaining the goal? So that's kind of a nice little heuristic for your own thinking as you're guiding students. Now, I think it works really well with 4th grade and higher, but I think that when I'm working with younger students, sometimes I need to be a little bit more specific. So these are some other things I do. Having them list the character's positive traits, and then having them decide on some flaws. It's a great vocabulary word to teach your kids what a flaw is, and they get what flaws are. Even with my 1st and 2nd graders, when I've worked with them, and I talk about what a flaw is, and I teach them that concept, they are so good at naming the flaws that humans sort of carry around with them, and even their own. The reason why I bring up flaw is because that flaw can help cause problems in a story, particularly personal narrative and memoir. What are the character's needs, wishes, or fears? The character's problems as a result of the flaws. For example, a student who procrastinates, a flaw, the actual problem might be that procrastinated too long, didn't turn in an assignment, and because of that is grounded, or perhaps grades begin to drop so he doesn't get to play on the school basketball team. Characters' possible solutions for solving the problem, and this is where I have to really help them see that those solutions are viable, reasonable, and that they make sense. And then complications or conflict for the characters that resolve the problem, and they sort of are the internal and external conflict. And I'm assuming that you know about internal and external, but I went ahead and made a slide for it, and that'll be included so that you can focus on that if you wanted a little bit more information. So internal is just the inward thoughts of the character. External are the factors that are impacting that character. So a kid who procrastinates, he might be thinking, oh man, I really blew this assignment. And the teacher's response to that might be, I'm going to keep you after school, and he can't control that or she can't control that. The teacher's keeping them after school, that's external, but it causes this problem in that he misses basketball practice or misses being able to go to a friend's birthday party. So you'll have that as well. So that's just kind of an idea with getting into the character mindset. So what I'd like you to do is either go back to this character that you started crafting from the bag, or look at your own writing that you've already been doing. Go back to the trouble prompt scenario, anything that you've been writing on, that you've been considering a character with. And I'd like you to spend some time developing a little bit about that character. So again, it can be this one, or it can be one that you've already been toying with over the last day or so. And I'm going to go back so that you can see the WAGs, because I think that for adults, that one's a little bit more focused. So take a few minutes and think about the world that this character or the one you're doing, and if you're writing kind of about yourself, think about your world and how you interact with your world and that world interacts with you. Your actions, your goals, and the stakes. I'll give you a couple of minutes to do that, and then we'll share around the tables.